Let's speak now to Tebogo Lefifi, a researcher at the University of Cape Town in South Africa. Hi, Tebogo. Thanks really so much for speaking to us. Now, the picture being painted by, certain social media accounts is one of outright racism against Africans. But as an African who's lived and worked in China, was the racism as bad as what we've been seeing on social media these past few days?
There's degrees of what you say is racism. I personally have never experienced racism in China. When I worked in China, I actually worked with Chinese friends and Chinese government and various associations to build good China-Africa relations. So my general experience, I've been to Guangzhou a number of times. I lived in Beijing. And I think racism can come from individuals, but I wouldn't say there's collective racism that from China. You can't have such a binary approach to racism from a country. I think that would be completely wrong and a very bad analysis of China experience, Africa, and racism. I wouldn't package it that way.
Okay, it's good to hear you say that. I mean, what do you think then COVID-19 has kind of done then, arguably, to the social dynamic in China right now? I mean, there's fear all over the world. How has it made, the Chinese respond, do you think?
Well, you've had different responses. You've got the local response in Guangzhou by local officials that has not reflected well, and the optics don't look good. And you've got very senior level response that basically completely condemns the local police reaction. We obviously we need to see the official high level reaction manifest at lower level. But in the social media groups that I'm in, we're seeing both the Chinese and the African and international people working as volunteers to alleviate the stress that there's foreign Africans are in Guangzhou right now. So on a people-to-people relations, I think we're seeing people that are very humane. And we've had Chinese friends actually in Beijing facilitating that Africans in Guangzhou are being accommodated, that there's information sharing about how to be tested and how to comply with the law. And I personally am working with some Chinese professors from a legal point of view to see how do we deal with hate speeches that are being posted on social media, what kind of legal recourse is available for Africans that have been kicked out of their homes illegally, how do you deal with landlord, what the Chinese law actually provides at this point for these people that are destitute.
Right.
So I think there's very strong people-to-people work that's been done to help and volunteer and also bridge relations, because this could actually damage all the dividends that we've put in building the China-Africa relations.
Indeed. And I mean, to be fair, this really is a problem the world over. You also see adverse treatment of immigrants and xenophobia in Africa, not just against, Chinese, but Africans of other nationalities. It's a problem that everyone is dealing with.
It is absolutely a problem, and that it would completely condemn. I think xenophobia against any race or even gender, it's absolutely abhorrible and it's unacceptable. So yes, it is a challenge that I think COVID is bringing to the fore, where any Asian-looking person who's outside China is suffering right now, being seen as patient zero, which we think it's unacceptable. And there's a lot of education that's happening now for lower-level people to say you can't allocate race to COVID. It's just not acceptable.
Tebogo Lefifi, great to have you. Really, thanks so much for joining us there from South Africa. We appreciate it.